How's it going, people? Today I'm going to be talking about Uncut Gems on Blu-ray. And if you're wondering why I am not reviewing a 4K copy, it's because this movie has been given the shaft since its release, and it continues. Doesn't have a 4K copy. But I figured I would do it anyway. This is a great movie, and let me get straight into the movie. So this movie is just an awesome Adam Sandler movie. It is probably his best. And the matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, yes. I can say with great certainty that it is his best. And probably the best movie of the year. I think it beats Ford v Ferrari for me just because of intensity. This movie is intense. It is largely because of the fact that Adam Sandler's character here is just a degenerate gambler to the 10th power. He thinks that his entire life can be solved by gambling, and he just has a quick fix for everything. Now, you know, he actually runs a jewelry store, and he could be very good at running that store. He could make millions from that store, but instead, he just has all of these get-rich-quick schemes that all resorts down to just gambling money and, just everything about his life all revolves around gambling. And it's crazy. You know, he even has Elsa from Frozen, you know, the actress that plays Elsa, her voice, and is in the Broadway Wicked. She is actually his wife here, and even that, he's going to gamble his relationship with her away in a certain way in this movie, and it is just fascinating to watch. I give it a 10 out of 10. This movie is just like, you know, I equate it to watching like one of those reality TV shows where you're just amazed at how dumb a person can be. And getting into the video quality here, this is, like I said, only out on Blu-ray. So, yeah, this movie looks how you would expect it to look and how I expected it to look, quite honest with you. This is a rough-looking movie. It has a lot of grain here, so grain haters, just beware. And it actually has a 2K digital intermediate, even though, you know, that's not going to even apply here. So, with that being said, I feel like it affects the depth of field and clarity the most. There isn't a lot of depth of field and there isn't a lot of clarity here because of just the heavy grain at times and the way that this was shot. And you know what I will say is it's a stylistic choice, and it's one that in the moment is very effective, but for actually grading the video quality here, it isn't going to get that high of a score. Detail work is better. It has some decent facial features, and close-ups do come across pretty good. There is some fine stitching that is involved with clothing, but I would say that that is it. If this camera was zoomed out a little bit more and we saw a lot of the New York landscape, this was actually shot in New York. So I feel like that would make this even better, but they really want to stay focused on the characters and really give it this real handheld look. That is what that is all about. Black levels do dip perfectly to black. There are no grays here, and yeah, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It's what I expected, but I didn't expect to see just a polished transfer, and I don't think you should. So, about the audio here, this is actually a DTS HD 5.1 mix. That is great. I did not expect this to be this good, but what I will say is that bass response here is pretty good. It is largely dictated by the score, and that is what I would expect. But the score here is just so excellent, and it has such a synth vibe to it that it lends itself really well. This is not so front-heavy of a mix because of that score. Also, it comes through all of your speakers. And the star of the show here is the speaker separation. It is uncanny here. It is excellent, top-notch. Wherever the character is on screen is where the voice comes out of. If he's standing to the left, it's going to be to the left, middle, and then right. It is very dynamic in that way, and it is great, and it is something that is I actually paid attention to, and it drew my attention from the beginning of the film to the end of it. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. It's great. And as for the digital copy here, this is a typical Lionsgate digital copy. You go to their specific website, redeem the code, and you can watch this on iTunes and on Vudu. And unfortunately, as far as the special features here, you only get one special feature that is a short making of Doc, and that is it. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 10. This is lackluster and unfortunate. And as for my last looks at Uncut Gems, this movie is fascinating to look at as just a character portrayal of a guy that could be a good guy. You know, he's not a bad person, but he just has this gambling addiction that is just makes him so sleazy and so desperate that it just controls his entire life. And it is fascinating to see on that level. He cannot shake it. It is an addiction. And yeah, that's why this is one of my most favorite movies of the year. It is probably the most intense. And as for my final score of Uncut Gems on Blu-ray, I'm going to give this a 28 out of 40. That is largely because of the fact that the movie is awesome and the audio is so great, because the special features definitely made this dip down a bit. And coming up next on the channel, I'm actually going to be watching Jumanji right after this video. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure you subscribe and make sure that you tell me all that you have thought of Uncut Gems, Jumanji, and 1917. Comment down below. Let me know about some other things that you guys would want me to do during this lull that we are having. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't even say it because you all know it. And I will see all of you next time.